Namaste to everyone. I welcome you all in my YouTube video channel. Today, I will deliver lecture on group, lecture number 62, in which I will describe third isomorphism theorem. Before describing the third isomorphism theorem, I would like to give a brief touch on some basic concepts related to third isomorphism theorem. Firstly, we will discuss about quotient group. Let G with given binary operation be a group and H be a normal subgroup of group G. Then the quotient group is denoted by G by H, and G by H is the collection of all cosets of the form AH. A belongs to G. Therefore, G by H quotient group equal to, we may write G1H. G1 belongs to group G. G2H. These are all cosets. Since H be normal subgroup, therefore left coset is equal to right coset. So here we only speak about coset. EH. E be the identity element of group G, and so on. This EH equal to H, and H be the identity element of quotient group G by H. Therefore, the quotient group G by H is the collection of all cosets of normal subgroup H. Now we speak about first isomorphism theorem, that is fundamental theorem of homomorphism. Let G with given binary operation and G prime with another binary operation be two groups, and phi is a onto homomorphism defined on G into G prime is onto homomorphism. And let kernel of phi equal to H. Here G be a group with given binary operation, and this is G prime is another group with another binary operation, and phi be onto homomorphism. Since kernel of phi is a normal subgroup of G, therefore the quotient group G by car phi car phi is normal subgroup of G exists. Here this is quotient group G by kernel of phi. Then by first isomorphism theorem, there exists an isomorphism psi G by kernel of phi to G prime is an isomorphism, that is G by kernel of phi quotient group is isomorphic to G prime. This is first isomorphism theorem. Now we apply these concepts for proving the third isomorphism theorem. Again, before proving third isomorphism theorem, we will prove a theorem which is very necessary to prove the third isomorphism theorem. Theorem is, let G be a group, this G be a group with given binary operation, and H be a normal subgroup of G, this is H, and K is a normal subgroup of G containing H, that is H is subset of K, this is K is a normal subgroup of G. Then the quotient group K by H is a normal subgroup of the quotient group G by H. And conversely, if K by H is a normal subgroup of G by H, then K is a normal subgroup of G containing H. Now we prove this. Let G be a group H is a normal subgroup of G. Again, K is a normal subgroup of G containing H, that is H is subset of K. Since H is a normal subgroup of G, therefore quotient group G by H exists. Let small k belongs to capital K and small h belongs to H. Since K is subset of G, because K is a normal subgroup of G, therefore K is subset of G, implies that small k belongs to G. Since H is a normal subgroup of G, implies that K belongs to G here, K, H, K inverse belongs to H. Let this is number 1. Since small k is arbitrary element of capital K, therefore from 1 we get capital H is a normal subgroup of capital K, implies that capital K quotient group capital K by H exists. Since G by H and K by H are quotient groups and K is subset of G, therefore quotient group K by H is a subgroup of quotient group G by H. Now let small k belongs to capital K, normal subgroup of G, and small g belongs to group G. Then small k H belongs to quotient group K by H, and small g H quotient belongs to quotient group G by H. Now GH belongs to quotient group G by H. Here KH belongs to quotient group K by H, and GH whole inverse equal to GH KH. This is G inverse H, and this is equal to GKG inverse H. Let this is number 2. Since capital K is a normal subgroup of G, therefore small k belongs to capital K and small g belongs to group G, implies that G K G inverse belongs to normal subgroup K, implies that this equal to let K1 belongs to normal subgroup K. Let K1 equal to GK G inverse. This is number 3. Using theory into we get GH KH GH whole inverse equal to K1H, and this belongs to quotient group K by H. This is number 4. From 4, we get this GH be an element of quotient group G by H, and this KH is an element of quotient group K by H. Therefore, from 4 we get K by H quotient group is a normal subgroup of quotient group G by H. Proved. Now conversely, let K by H is a normal subgroup of quotient group G by H, implies that GH be the element of quotient group G by H, KH be the element of K by H, GH inverse belongs to quotient group K by H, implies that GH, KH, G inverse H belongs to quotient group K by H, implies that GK, G inverse H belongs to quotient group K by H. This means implies that GK, G inverse belongs to K, implies that K is a normal subgroup of G containing H. Proved. Now we prove the third isomorphism theorem. Firstly, we state the theorem statement. If H be a normal subgroup of G and K be a normal subgroup of G containing H, then the quotient group G by K is isomorphic to quotient group G by H by K by H. Now we prove this. Given that G be a group, H and K are normal subgroups of G, such that H is subset of K. This is group G, this is normal subgroup H, and K be another normal subgroup of G containing H. in previous theorem we have seen that H is a normal subgroup of K and quotient group K by H is a normal subgroup of quotient group G by H. Therefore, quotient group G by H by K by H exists. Since K is a normal subgroup of G, therefore quotient group G by K exists. Let this is G by H quotient group and this is quotient group G by K. And let phi be a mapping. Let phi is a mapping defined on G by H to G by K, defined by phi xh equal to x k. X belongs to group G. This is number one. Now we show that phi is well defined. Let xy belongs to G, group G, implies that xh yh belongs to quotient group G by H, and let xh equal to yh implies that x y inverse belongs to H, implies that x y inverse belongs to K, since H is subset of K, implies that xk equal to yk, implies that xk means phi xh equal to phi yh. Therefore, phi is well defined. Now, to show phi is a homomorphism, let xh yh belongs to G by H. Therefore, phi xh yh equal to phi xyh. This equal to xyk. This equal to xk yk and xk equal to phi xh, yk equal to phi yh using 1. This is number 2. Therefore, from 2 we get phi is a homomorphism. This is number 3. Let xk belongs to g by k. Therefore, there exists xh belongs to g by h. Here xh such that phi xh equal to xk. Therefore, phi is onto mapping. This is number 4. From 3 and 4 we get phi is onto homomorphism. This is number 5. It is obvious that k be the identity element of quotient group G by K. This K be the identity element. Now we find kernel of phi equal to all those elements xh belongs to quotient group G by H such that phi xh equal to identity element of G by K, that is K. This equal to xh belongs to G by H such that phi xh equal to xk equal to k, and this is possible only when x belongs to k. Let this is number 6. Since when xk equal to k, then x belongs to k. This is number 7. Therefore, from 6 we get kernel of phi equal to, here xh, x belongs to k, that means xh belongs to k by h. Ker phi equal to k by h. This is number 8. let this is G by H and this is G by K and phi be onto homomorphism. Here car phi, kernel of phi, here identity element K, the image of all elements of car phi equal to K. Since from 5 phi is onto homomorphism, therefore from first isomorphism theorem here this G by H by car phi is isomorphic to G by K. There exists an isomorphism psi defined on G by H by car phi, kernel of phi, into G by K. That is G by H and kernel of phi is K by H. Is isomorphic to G by K, implies that G by K is isomorphic to G by H by K by H. Proved. Thanks for watching my video. If you are satisfied with my presentation and contents, then please click on like button and do subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you.